Hey everybody, the Johnny Cage here, welcoming you back to some more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda. Last time we left off, we went through the second dungeon. We had found the silver boomerang, as well as another piece of the Triforce, and this time around we're going to do a few extra things before we hit up the third dungeon. In particular, you may have noticed that I have 255 rupees, which is the max you're allowed to carry in this game. No big wallet in this one, folks. But anyhow, we have to make our way to the bottom center area, kind of close to where we first started the game, and that's going to be where the third dungeon is. And right around that same area we can get the blue ring, and we can also drop off that letter that we got from the old man to give to the old woman. You might remember that in the very first episode. So without further ado, let's try to make our way there. And this overworld can be quite confusing at times. I myself am... I've beaten this game like 3 times over probably, and I have never really gotten down the whole overworld. And it's especially strange because if you play the first and second quest, then all the dungeons and stuff are located in different places, so you really get confused with the overworld then. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just me and my inexperience, but I find this overworld just really hard to get a firm grasp on. I mean... you know, I guess you could chalk it up to the fact it's on Nintendo, and a lot of stuff looks the same. You can just judge it by, okay, are you in a green, bushy area, or are you in a mountainous area? You know, that's the best way you can go about explaining where you are or what you're looking for. But over here, you touch this statue, and he'll go crazy! Sometimes he doesn't, but this is where you'll get the, boy, this stuff is really expensive items. And you'll grab the ring and listen to that delightful sound as your money ticks away to next to nothing, leaving us with only 5 rupees, but that's alright, we're not going to be doing any more rupee spending this time around. Next time, we'll definitely be dropping some more cash at different shops around the overworld, but for now, we are just about set to go and adventure into further dungeons, and put ourselves in more danger. You may have also noticed that Link's tunic is now a blue, kind of grayish color. I'm sure it's supposed to be blue. Maybe there was just an issue with it being blue on the overworld here, and it actually looks a little bit different when we get into some of the dungeons. The color of it shifts ever so slightly. It's a little strange, but you know, it's like the whole reason that Mario has a mustache, because when they first developed the character of Mario, and oh geez, now I'm being totally turned around here. Let's try going back this way. Damn, this overworld. But when they first came out with Mario, they gave him a mustache only so they could distinguish his face, because they had so little to work with, you know, pixel-wise. So they gave him a mustache, and they gave him a hat so that you could easily make out where the features on his head were. So, you know, there's lots of little tricks that Nintendo used to try to give their characters more of a look to them, despite the limitations of the NES. So here's the old lady, and if you give her the letter, actually you just have to pull out the letter and give it to her, and she'll let you buy medicine at her place. And as I mentioned before, you can get medicine or a heart container in some of those dungeons. Please, for the love of God, don't be a fool and just get the heart container, because medicine does not cost much, and we won't be needing it. Like I said, probably the last few dungeons will take some, but over here we have the third dungeon, and this one is not that tricky, although I would highly recommend you have the blue ring at this point, because we are going to run into a new enemy that is going to probably beat us up pretty badly. Not as bad as future enemies, but he'll be the first tough one, and you don't see him on the overworld, so you don't have any exposure to him until this point. So I suppose we'll switch back up to the bombs, put something more useful in my secondary slot there. Take out these, what are they, Zools or something like that? I was going to say like Zool, like from Ghostbusters. I don't think that's exactly what they're called, but I'm going to go with that. They're Zools. So here we are with the Dark Nuts. These evil knights that can be very tricky to get, because you can't hit them straight on. You have to hit them from the side or from the back. And the trick to really beating these guys is, you may have noticed, Link doesn't have to move around on blocks. Like, he can like stand with the line of a block, you know, directly between his legs, and he can just go wherever he wants. These Dark Nuts have to move on the grid, is what I'm trying to get at. So you can stand in between 2 blocks, and then you can attack them, and they are not going to be able to turn and hit you right away. That's the basic strategy for fighting Dark Nuts. I don't know. I mean, it works. I just am not that great at fighting them, apparently. I'm also out of practice. But anyway, enough of the excuses. We took them out. We don't have the map to this dungeon, and in fact, we don't get the map until close to the very end. No, good lord. This room can be tough, because this one you really have to fight the Dark Nuts. Another strategy is to use bombs against them to blow them up. If you have a surplus of bombs, you might as well give it a try. They have the tendency to drop bombs as well. As you can see, catching them off guard around a corner of blocks is definitely a pretty good way of fighting them as well. But the map in this dungeon, we don't get towards the very end when it's completely useless by that point. So the way to know where to go is you're going to want to, you start at the south and you're going to want to make your way west and then north and then to the east, and that is how you will go through. You'll go through pretty much every room that way anyway, but you'll also get the secret treasure in this dungeon, which you do not want to pass up, because it is the raft, as we can see over here. And the raft, not particularly useful. I mean, we're only going to use it twice. We use it to get to the 4th dungeon, which is coming up next, and we also use it to get a heart container. But with the exception of those 2 times, you're never going to use it again, so oh well. It's something you need, though, so you gotta get it. Anyway, we'll make our way up north here, get into a room. Now you have these weird bubble guys, and I think they're literally called bubbles. I could be wrong about that, but they're a pain in the ass, and not in the sense that they do a lot of damage to you. Quite the contrary, they actually do no damage to you when they hit you, but as you can see here, you can't use your sword for about a good 3 seconds after they touch you. So it's kind of a pain, and later on there's going to be a more advanced version of them that's even worse, but I guess we'll worry about that when we get there, which has become my tagline for this game, pretty much. Take out some of these Zools, they'll drop a key for you, and now you're in like the exact center of the dungeon at this point. So we'll make our way up. Actually, going up is completely, optional, up to you. Take out a couple more of these guys, and then push the left block over. If we can push the left block. Come on, Link. There we go. There you go. And go north, and we'll run into our good friend, the Old Man. He's going to ask us if we got the sword from the old man on the top of the waterfall, and if you're following along with me, yes we did. That's the white sword, or master sword as I call it. I don't know. I will try not to call it the master sword because I don't want people giving me a hard time about it. But it's a white sword regardless, and I guess you can't argue that statement. So in here, take out some keys if you want to maybe get some item drops. No such luck there, but they do drop. There's a key in the room with the keys. Isn't that convenient? And then when you come back out, the old man has to tell you once again the same thing, proof that he is becoming more senile as the game progresses. Anyway, we'll head back south now, and now we can start heading to the east and go through the final about 4 rooms of this dungeon. First one, a couple Zools, and there's the map. And okay, let's address this right now. It's not a swastika, it's a manji, which is the name of a symbol used in Buddhist religion. You see it everywhere in Japan, actually. Excuse me. You see it all over maps, and it shows different places to go. Where the shrines are located is what I'm trying to get at. So, it's not a swastika. Swastika is actually the opposite. It's also a sign of good luck in India, from what I understand. So here's our final room before we get to the boss here. Oh, we got a clock. Nice. That will help us out. Do this, grab some rupees, never a bad thing to try to get some money back. And here is our level 3 boss, the Manhandled, and I hate this guy. And this is right off the bat, I run up to him, drop a bomb. He's basically got 4 components that make up his whole. And as you take one of them away, he starts to go more quickly, and he shoots crazy fireballs. But sometimes you just have to go crazy, just start slashing at him. That last part can be really hard to take out. Oh, good, I got it with a bomb. It can be pretty hard to take out, though, with a bomb. Just because of how fast it's moving. But anyway, we got him. We got some bombs in return. We got the heart container. And yes, indeed, we got the 3rd piece of the Triforce. Alright, guys. Well, that's going to just about do it for this episode. Next time, we are going to go do some more adventuring. Definitely pick up some stuff here on the overworld, including the candle, which is probably something that you should have in your inventory already. So we'll grab the candle, and that means we can burn down a whole lot of bushes, which will uncover a whole lot of secrets, and then we'll make our way to the 4th dungeon using our nifty raft that we just got. So anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. This has been the Johnny Cage. Please subscribe, like, and comment if you have not, and I'll talk to all of you guys tomorrow.